everyone. I truly appreciate all of you for your continued support of these mystery-focused exploration videos on this channel. One thought has always stayed with me. How can I create the most captivating experiences for you through these videos? Over the years, your views and comments have sparked something deeper in me. Many were so gripping, and at times unsettling, that I wondered, why aren't these stories more well known? These aren't fiction. They are actual accounts, shared by real people. From frightening dreams that somehow played out in real life, to direct encounters with strange and unexplained phenomena. That's why in today's episode, we're diving into some of the most unsettling prophetic dreams ever posted in this channel's comments section. I hope it offers a truly surreal and memorable experience. If you've ever had a mysterious dream or event, be it in sleep or waking life, don't hesitate to tell us in the comments. And remember, you could unlock some unexpected luck if you hit like and subscribe before the video ends. When I was young, until around 10, I often had a recurring dream involving flooding water and large snakes. That dream used to deeply disturb me. I felt completely powerless. It even triggered a real phobia of snakes. I would physically shake from fear. I told family and friends about it. Most said it must reflect inner fears. Then one day while scrolling YouTube, I saw this video pop up. By pure chance, and I discovered that many others had dreams very much like mine. The main difference was I saw snakes, sometimes as massive as a house column. Thank you for sharing such an unsettling memory from your youth. Dreams of water and snakes often symbolize buried emotions or deep subconscious fears. Psychologists say snake dreams are often linked to anxiety or personal transformation. A snake that large, as you described, may represent something emotionally overwhelming. It's amazing this video helped you realize that others have had nearly identical dreams. I hope these shared stories offer comfort and even insight into your inner world. When I was 17, I had a dream. I walked into our kitchen and saw my mom cradling my dad, who was in tears. I asked her what happened. She looked me in the eye and said, "I'm dead." I immediately broke down crying and woke up sobbing. I told my mom and again burst into tears. She hugged me and said, "Oh, honey, it's just a dream." 4 years later, a doctor's mistake led to a cancer diagnosis. 5 years later, my mom died, right on our living room floor. Was that dream a warning, a preparation for the pain to come? She passed in 1971. It still hurts. Thank you, Phil, for revealing something so heartfelt and painful. That dream you had at 17 feels like a foreshadowing, like something sacred inside you trying to warn or comfort. Science may never fully clarify why these kinds of dreams occur, but no one can deny their emotional weight, like echoes from the universe, guiding us toward what's coming. Losing a mother is an ache that never fades. Her memory will always walk beside you, part of your soul. May that memory carry you gently, a lasting light, through the rest of your life. 1 year before my father died in 2011, I dreamed we were talking. I asked how he felt. He said, "Jen, I've got this pain in my side and back. It just won't go away. Maybe it's from overworking." I told him to check it out. It could be cancer. He said, "Yeah, when I have time." I woke up in shock at 7:30 a.m. EM, grabbed the phone, and called him. As he walked out of a casino, I asked if his back and side had been hurting. He said, "How did you know?" I begged him to see a doctor. It felt urgent. Days later, he was diagnosed with stage 4 lung cancer. Never ignore a dream that intense. Thank you for sharing. When dreams feel that real, that loud, They may be more than dreams. Maybe it's our minds. Or maybe something beyond what we can explain, trying to steer us, to protect us. Your story reminds us, don't dismiss those strange, lingering dreams. This is incredibly eerie. I live in Japan, and right before this video appeared, my wife was telling her dad about this exact topic. Then YouTube served this next. Also, I often get strange feelings around certain people, almost like a shadow around them. What's terrifying is when I feel that, they often die within a week or two. It doesn't matter who they are, strangers, friends, anyone. I can't explain it, but it always scares me. What you described gave me chills. Sensing a dark energy or shadow like that may be a form of intuition, or something rarer still. While there's no scientific explanation, it reminds us that unseen forces may exist beyond our understanding. And maybe those gut feelings aren't random at all. Maybe they're signals we need to heed. I've had the same dream for years. I'm in a field, standing near a seaside cliff. I hear a low humming. Then I see a fleet of bombers and fighter jets flying overhead, out to sea, heading to war. And I realize these aren't isolated dreams. They're all about war. Sometimes I'm not on the cliff, but the message is the same. And they're happening more and more now. I fear one day those planes won't be in my dreams, but in my skies. I turned 70 this year. I live in the UK. The planes always fly toward mainland Europe. Thank you for this haunting image. So full of warning. Perhaps deep in your awareness, you're sensing a tension rising in the world. Or perhaps it's intuition drawn from lived history. Either way, I hope these dreams stay as dreams. I wish you peace and good health. I lived near the coast most of my life. I was just 4 miles from the beach. When the Japan tsunami struck, I saw how far inland the water went. 10 miles. Everything vanished. Later, I had a dream. Not about a tsunami, but a slow flood. In the dream, I was napping on my couch. I woke up, stood, and found water up to my knees. Then I heard the front door rattle. A man in a hazmat suit was there. I hit him, and he fled. By the time I got to the porch, the water had risen to my waist. No wave, just rising, creeping water. I looked out and saw the coastline submerged. Dry land, far, far away. That dream jolted me. I wondered what could cause something like that on the East Coast. Then I remembered the volcano in the Canary Islands, La Palma. If it erupts and collapses into the sea, the tsunami would be enormous. I moved to the Midwest. But here, another danger waits: tornadoes. That dream felt less like a nightmare and more like a subconscious warning. It reminded me how fragile the places we consider safe really are. Moving inland was a wise choice. Sometimes our dreams are nudging us towards safety. Thank you for your chilling, insightful story. I'm grateful, inspired, and honestly a bit frightened. First and foremost, thank you for your honesty. I'm a 50-year-old woman, born in 1974 in Los Angeles. As a child, especially around Hollywood, I suffered serious trauma. As life continued, so did the trauma. Complex PTSD, not just the regular kind. But I also have a gift. I can sing, and people have always said my voice carries a strange sorrow. At some point in childhood, I began having tsunami dreams. Sometimes they involved massive cosmic disasters, end-of-the-world scenarios. Other times, the earth cracked open. But most of the time, it was about waves, huge waves. I don't know if these dreams are spiritual, mental, divine, or something else, but they feel real. Always, I hear the sound or see the wave before anyone else. I scream, warning everyone, urging them to run. Eventually, many start running with me, but there's no way to outrun it. The wave swallows us. Sometimes I wake up at that moment, sometimes I see it through. But the pattern never changed. Giant wave, panic, everyone runs. Then we're overtaken. 10 years ago, the dream stopped. Coincidentally or not, that's when I gave birth to my son. I haven't dreamed of tsunamis since. Maybe his birth changed me. Or maybe I had been dreaming of a future I'd been preparing for. And now that it's here, the dreams are gone. I know it sounds strange, but deep down it feels true. I'll leave it to you to interpret. This is a real story, from a real person, for whatever it's worth. Also, one last thing. I lived for years in Washington State, and under the Pacific lies the Juan de Fuca Plate. It's still building pressure. I read up on what would happen when, not if, it erupts. Thank you for such a sincere and powerful account. Every sentence you shared carries not just sorrow, but also intuition, insight, and the strength of someone who has endured much, yet continues to care, to feel, and to warn. You truly are extraordinary. And the things you sense, the visions and dreams, they matter. Whether we believe in intuition, divine energy, the subconscious, or mere chance, stories like yours remind us that much of reality remains unexplained. I had a dream in February this year. Set in Maine, on the East Coast. I was at my grandmother's house in Brunswick. Suddenly, near Cook's Corner, a blast of salt water surged from a massive hole in the earth. It roared as it burst upward. Her entire backyard, around 75 feet wide and 25 feet tall, was submerged. The flood came fast. Her home began to float. I was still inside, drifting like a boat down what seemed to be a giant river. A 6-person rowboat, completely empty, floated toward me. I dove into it as it passed, landing flat and steady. I grabbed a paddle, knelt, and aimed the boat toward a shore on my left. As I paddled, I looked back and saw my grandmother's house vanish under the water. I hoped waves wouldn't swamp the boat. I reached land, a lagoon-like stretch, and dragged the boat ashore. I quickly climbed up a hill. At the top, a man ran toward me and said the flood had destroyed my grandmother's house in Brunswick. Then he said her name. I realized I was by the Penobscot River in Bangor. The man was my cousin. I hadn't seen him in years. I woke up stunned. Her house had been demolished more than 2 decades ago. Maybe it was just a dream, but it felt too real, too vivid not to question. Was my mind trying to send a message? Thank you for sharing this incredible dream. On December 23rd, 2021, I was listening to random YouTube clips when I suddenly felt myself pulled south, thousands of miles. I hovered over the sea at dusk, looking at Antarctica. To the right, about a mile away, sat a research ship. Then, a deep rumble began. It grew louder until the ocean churned violently. I saw people clinging to the ship's sides. A snapping sound echoed behind them. A massive crack ripped through the ice, growing wide, branching out like lightning as the shaking continued. I rose 100 feet into the air on a transparent disc. Beneath me, the glacier collapsed. A loud vacuum sound followed as air and ice plunged downward, dragging the ship with them. Then, waves, towering and fast, began racing from Antarctica at 100 miles per hour. Wave after wave surged outward. I saw the ocean floor and all man-made things being pulled toward shorelines with frightening power. South Africa was struck first, then other places. Islands vanished. Even those on high ground were swept away. My husband found me crying and gasping for air as I described it. I've watched Antarctica ever since. Thank you for this striking, intense vision. It didn't feel like a dream. It felt like a warning, like a true glimpse of disaster yet to come. Maybe I need to watch Antarctica more closely. While watching this, I sensed something big is coming. In spring 2024, during meditation, I saw mountains falling, buildings collapsing, ocean liners sinking, rivers spilling over. Then in my third eye, I saw a shimmering blue light. It was a shade of blue I've never seen before, not earthly. In the center of it, a bright white flash. Then I woke from the trance. Months later, I had the same vision again. I told my husband, "This will happen, I just don't know when." I had dreams about 9/11 for years before it happened. Starting in the early 80s, I'd dream of planes hitting tall buildings in a big city and one crashing beyond a grassy hill. The dreams repeated over the years, always the same. When 9/11 finally happened, those dreams stopped completely. That's why I know something catastrophic is coming. Watching this 2025 prophecy makes me think it's connected. Thank you for allowing me to tell my story. When visions recur in meditation with vivid clarity, they can't be dismissed. They carry weight. The fact that you dreamed of 9/11 for decades until it came true forces us to take what you've said seriously. Some people seem attuned to things beyond time. You may be one of them. My dreams often come true. A man, his face always hidden, would appear wearing a wide-brimmed hat like someone from a noir film. He would hand me a newspaper and say, "Read this." The headline was always something that later came to pass. These dreams repeated and always came true. In the 1988s, I dreamed for weeks that Korean Airlines Flight 7 would be shot down. Then it happened. I foresaw the Kobe earthquake. Hurricane Katrina haunted my dreams for a month before it struck. In my 60 years, I've learned, if I remember a dream, it will come true. I can also feel when tragedy is near. My husband didn't believe in psychics, but he used to say I was scary accurate. I believe everyone has this ability. Some just listen better. You dreamed of events that shaped history. That's not chance. Perhaps, as you say, we all carry this ability within us, only some are more connected to it. In 2020, I moved to southern New Mexico. Since early 2023, I've had recurring dreams of a flash flood or tsunami striking my town. In every dream, a giant wall of water comes from the east. But that's nearly impossible, and there's a huge mountain range there. The water would have to travel miles over it and still maintain enough force to cause destruction. Yet, I've had this dream 3 times now. Each time, it's daylight and the skies are clear. The wave strikes without warning and wipes everything out. I'm hoping it's just symbolic. Perhaps stress from work rather than a literal prophecy of disaster. Thank you for this compelling story. Water dreams, especially those that defy physical logic, often point to repressed emotion or overwhelming pressure in life. Or maybe your subconscious is picking up on something deeper that the waking mind can't yet see. Still, I hope it's just stress. My story. I've been clairvoyant all my life, but didn't understand it growing up. I'd cry out at night, terrified by things I saw and heard. Now, older, I've learned to accept it. I hear voices, feel messages, see illness in others, and glimpse their futures. One dream stayed with me. A giant storm sweeping across the U.S. from east to west. That never happens. But in 2023 or 2024, I dreamed it vividly. Flooding, chaos, and 2025 isn't far off. I don't watch TV or movies. It's been 7 years. These dreams weren't influenced by anything. They came from somewhere else. Whether visions arrive as dreams, intuition, or sudden knowing, one thing connects them all. A sense that something is approaching. Maybe it's a sign. Maybe just coincidence. But whether you believe in spirit, science, or pure emotion, these experiences remind us we're all tuned into something deeper, greater, and possibly real. If these stories stirred something in you or reminded you of your own dream, please share it in the comments. And if you want to keep uncovering the mysteries of life with us, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Until next time.